Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. We begin this morning talking about something that a lot of people in Oklahoma have to deal with from time to time, and that is their septic system. Joining us now is Sergio Abit, one of our soil scientists here at OSU. And Sergio, you and your team have put together a new extension project behind us. Obviously a series of septic systems.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the background.
Well, 40% of houses in Oklahoma have septic systems, and these are houses that are not connected to a city sewer. If you don't receive a sewer bill, you probably need a septic system. That 40% figure is quite significant because the national average for houses with septic systems is only 20%. So we have a lot of septic systems in Oklahoma, but just like, anything that is waste, that's considered waste, we deal with it and we tend to forget about it. So this facility is the first of its kind here in Oklahoma and, right in the area. And we want to use this in training the people who are involved in the industry, and also to be used as educational facility for kids, for high schoolers, maybe even for homeowners.
And one of the questions I asked you was, are you an engineer? And you are actually a soil scientist.
Yeah.
Talk about the importance of the soil in deciding what kind of system you need in the first place and how it's maintained.
In all of these systems, the ultimate recipient of the waste, the one that treats the waste, is actually the soil. And rules in Oklahoma, as that pertains to septic systems, is largely dependent on the soil. So the decision as to what system needs to be installed in the area is largely dependent on what type of soil, what is the thickness of the soil, and how effective is that soil in treating wastes.
Okay. And I know I'm a novice, but typically these are all underground, correct?
These are not underground, yes.
But for educational purposes, they're above ground.
Yes.
Okay.
We want people here to actually touch it, see it, and of course look inside the tanks and walk around it and have a good understanding of how they work. Yeah.
Let's talk about each of these different models that you have here, starting with this one here.
All right. That one right there, that is what we call a conventional system. Everything is driven by gravity. That is the most common across the nation, very common in Oklahoma as well. So if you have perfect soils, good area, thick soils, we rely on gravity to distribute the wastewater across the field. So those pipes are actually underground and they distribute water underneath. But that's if you have perfect soils. If you don't have perfect soils, we rely on something else to improve the distribution. So we pressurize the system. This is the system right here, which we call low pressure dosing. Pressure is used to distribute the water more evenly. But if none of these would work, and if you have bad soils, clay soils, thin soils, small area, well, we rely on, even more advanced systems like the one that we have here. This is what we call the aerobic treatment system. So there's a lot of electronics and mechanical parts in it. It's a bit expensive and requires a lot of upkeep, but then again, it allows you to build houses in areas that have bad soils.
Like you mentioned, this is something we don't think about until it stops working, and then it's pretty much all your attention goes to that. So there must be a real need for training opportunities of all ages, correct?
Correct. And most of the time, problems arise if it's not installed correctly and if it's not maintained correctly. So talking about installation, we have to train our installers to do that, to do the installation in the best way possible. And we also have to train our homeowners that, hey, you have to maintain this, and what better way of training than showing them mock-ups of how things work so that we can train them how to properly care for their systems.
Tell me about the panels that we see in the back here.
Those panels are mock-ups or representations of what we have installed in the subsurface. This lines right here, they're pipes. They're actually underground, but those are cross sections of what we will find in the subsurface. You can see like pipes, and around it is gravel. So the wastewater actually moves into the gravel before they would move into the soil for final treatment. And if you have different types of soils, well, you will have different types of below ground trenches. So that is basically what it represents.
Terrific. Well, best of luck as it progresses, and keep us posted. Maybe we would need a little training too, the Sunup team.
Who knows?
Okay. Sergio, thanks so much for your time. And for more information on soils and projects like this in Oklahoma, go to sunup.okstate.edu.